The 2021 season is presented by Best on Tour. Sign up for free at bestontour.net. Well, it's 4:30 in the morning. We're back at it with the second Southern Open stop of the season. This time we're in East Tennessee. We're on Douglas Lake. This lake fluctuates 40, 50 foot every single year, I think. And I've spent the majority of my time just trying to find and fish rock that I found on Google Earth. I'm 50-50 on whether I'm going to start on some shad fish or whether I'm just going to go straight to that rock. I'll probably just go straight to that rock, and I think that's the best way to get a couple of those quality fish. Goal for the day, let's start out 12 and a half pounds, and then maybe try to find a big one on the bed. So 3 things going. A little swim bait offshore on some rock striations. Got some shad fish in the back of the pockets that might play a little bit later in the afternoon. They seem about 3 o'clock to kind of get up and start chasing that shad, and then a couple bed fish, throw a wacky worm around, catch a couple there too. Just kind of have a feel for what's going on. Got the spoken hub working, which I didn't have really going down in Florida. I had a spot, so kind of stay in the home base and then work around from there. Well, as you can see, I decided to start on the schooling fish, and I was just throwing a little 3.3 Big Bite Baits Pro Swimmer back here. Caught a couple really nice fish on it in practice, but when I got back there, the bait, the minnows, the shad were really popping. I thought it was going to be a pretty quick way to catch a pretty easy limit, especially with the 12-inch limit on largemouth, but I think I caught a short smallmouth and a bunch of white bass, and I really wasted about an hour back here. I thought it was going to just pop off. In practice, it had been pretty easy to go through when the bait was up and cast that little swim bait underneath, but not the best start to the morning. It's real nasty up there, but that's where those fish are. I really don't want to go up there if at all possible. There's really good rocks and they're spawning up there. Yeah. I mean, I caught some dandies off of that thing. Did you? There he is. There's number 1. Not a big one, but it'll work.
We'll be heading out.
I'm just gonna go here, and then we'll hit a couple more points, a couple little rocky deals, and then I'm gonna go catch my bedfish. So far, I'm not impressed. We're about to get out of here before I waste too much of the day. I mean, we should have gotten bit. You agree?
Yeah.
I made a move out to like a series of 5 points that had just some rock striations on it, and I was planning on catching them on that little swim bait again, but I just kind of slowed down. There weren't many boats in that area, and this was kind of my primary area outside of a couple bed fish, and just started to put it together and started catching them pretty good on a Ned rig. I'll take him for number 2. Not a big one, but better than nothing. I think you forgot your glasses, and I think I forgot my hat.
Okay.
There's one. That's a good one.
All right.
That might be a smallmouth.
Right out of the way.
Nope.
You've always got one. Ain't the way I can help you, is it?
No. I'll take him. There's a good one. Thank goodness. I'll go 2.5. I thought he was getting off. He wasn't getting off. Nope. I put my hat in here. We're rolling. I was pumped to find the lucky hat. I've worn that one since 2019. It was like a prototype AFCO hat, and they went into production afterwards, but that was like one of the first ones they made, so I like wear that hat pretty much every day of tournament competition, or at least have it in the boat.
Good fish too, huh?
Yes. On the fighting frog. I told you they were back here. You didn't believe me.
First I did. First I did.
You said shit. We're gonna sit out here and
proved
die on these stupid points.
You proved me wrong, didn't you? You proved me wrong.
There's one. I don't think it's very big, but it'll probably keep. Unless it's a small one. No, it's a largie. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
There's a limit.
Yeah, good.
There's 5. Got 3 little ones though. I mean, those aren't tiny.
Does that Ned rig have any kind of rattle or anything in it?
Nope.
I don't see how they see it, do you?
Nope. I don't ask questions.
You just catch fish.
All I know is when a crawfish kicks, it puts its pinchers like this.
Yeah.
And it looks just like a little freaking Ned rig.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So you get it caught in the rock and you pop it and it just goes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. So something that I noticed after the fact was a lot of times my better fish on day 1, the bait was just sitting there. Like I was taking my hydronaut rain suit off and got a bite. I was letting a boat go past and got a bite. I was checking a camera and got a bite. So I might have fished through this area a little bit too fast. It seemed those fish were picking that bait off the bottom when it wasn't moving. That one will help. So this is where things kind of get a little bit sketchy. I had a 75-year-old gentleman as a co-angler. Great dude. Would fish with him any day of the week again. But he tripped over his tackle bag in the back and around 10 a.m. Took a spill in the boat.
Slowed me down. I messed up my hip a little bit there.
You hurt?
No.
One rule, honesty. You gotta tell me if you're not.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
tougher to pine knot, but just...
Like I said, it's a fishing tournament.
Yeah.
It's not life. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you just hang out there for a couple minutes, okay?
No, we go anytime you want to.
You want water?
No, no. We go anytime you want to.
I know. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes just to... Your face okay?
Yeah, I caught myself.
I could care less about the fishing tournament. I'm serious.
No, I'm fine.
I don't trust you though, because you're hardcore.
Yeah. You got antiseptic in your anytime?
Let me see if I got a... I don't know if I've got my kit with me. I used to carry one. I got some Tylenol.
Man.
Hey man, you got a first aid kit?
Yeah.
We got a little wound, if you don't mind if I could borrow some. I don't know how you did that to your arm.
I don't either.
Ready?
Yep. Thank you. Plus, he's got 40 years on me, so.
Yeah.
He already told me his wife was feisty. I said, we gotta get you taken care of. I don't need her upset at me. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
day.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Yo, you're welcome.
You got fish karma now.
Take care of yourself now.
I wasn't really sure what to do. He said he was okay, that he was just going to take a little bit, but I also knew that he'd taken a pretty hard fall. After about 20 minutes, I made a run to a bedding fish, and when I got there, I looked back and realized that he was hurting pretty bad, and actually had a big bump on his head. And I asked him at that point if he wanted to go in and wanted me to call 911, and he said yes. So actually, ended up taking him back to the Dandridge boat ramp. Just fell. All right. All right, I'm headed in.
Get back to fishing.
Don't worry about the fishing, dude. It don't matter. You have not cost me a damn thing. If anything, I'll be able to reset and have a good day. Here, I'll get all that. Don't worry. To skip to the end, they took him to the ER, ran a bunch of tests. Turns out he just had a mild concussion. He actually came back and got his stuff at the end of the day afterwards, met me at the boat ramp, but better safe than sorry to go get checked out. Well, that was interesting. Herschel took a fall there, 75 years old, real trooper, so hopefully he's okay. Got him loaded in the ambulance, talked with Chris, and now I got 4 hours to make something else happen the rest of the day. Let's go do it. You let me borrow the first aid kit, right?
Yeah, where'd he go?
In an ambulance?
You're serious?
He's like, are you okay? And he goes, no. And I freaking called Chris, and then I called 911, and they had the thing back down, and we rolled him up and put him in a stretcher, and off he went, and Gretchen said, you're good to go.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm a little spun out.
Oh.
I ran to a pocket over there that I had a bedfish, and I locked down on it, and I looked back, and I said, we're freaking done. And I said, you want me to call, you want me to go in? And he's like, yeah.
So he said yes.
Yeah. You catch that 3 on that lay down back here?
Oh, I saw him in practice, but I ain't get him.
Wrong one. This was such a bonus fish on day one. I was just going down the bank looking for betters, pitching a wacky worm out in front of the boat, and randomly caught my biggest one of the day. It was a little bit over 2 3/4 pounds, but that pushed me over the 12-pound mark. That helps the cause. Big time. Had to go in, dropped off Herschel. Caught one more good one after that, probably the biggest one of the day. But I'm gonna give these points a little bit more time here. That's kind of where I started the morning. I have not been able to get the flashy swimmer going, but there's a little bit of wind on these, and I think a lot of guys gave up on them. It's not bad. I need a couple more big bites. A couple 2.5s would really help. So I spent the last couple hours of the day back where I filled my limit out earlier in the morning, and it was pretty much a coal fest. Just ounces, just hundredths of an ounce, hundredths of an ounce, hundredths of an ounce. I knew how close the weights would be, so I just leaned on them and tried to get as much weight as I could for the rest of the day. Another coal. I ended up finishing the day with a limit weighing 12 pounds 4 ounces. I bet I culled through 20 fish in the last couple hours. It didn't show all of them here. It's pretty much just the same thing over and over again on a Ned rig. I wasn't thrilled with my performance on day one, the 64th place out of 220 anglers, but I also knew I'd put myself in position where if I could do a repeat performance and maybe hit that 13 pound mark, I'd be flirting with the check. So all in all, really interesting day. Caught a bunch of fish and made some good decisions going into day 2 on Douglas. The 2021 season is presented by Best on Tour. Sign up for free at bestontour.net.